Hi, welcome to NicheCraft. My name is Cassie and I'm your host. And for Wellness Wednesday, I am highlighting the importance of donating to charities. So before I talk about that here, I'm going to switch over to a very short PowerPoint that I made for you guys. And I'm going to let you guys watch that. But don't worry, I'm going to be back over here in just a few minutes and we can talk a little bit more about charities and donating to charities. All right? I'll see you then. Hi, and welcome to NicheCraft. My name is Cassie, and I'm your host. And today is Wellness Wednesday, when we talk about different ways to craft ourselves so that we can be better people. And this week, I'd like to talk about donating to charity. Now, I've already said that I'm not very good at these presentations, so I'm only going to spend a few minutes doing this part. Most of this video is going to actually be done the way that I normally do it. But because I have some talking points, I do want to mention those first. So when I'm talking about donating to charity, I'm talking about donating handmade items. And one thing about donating is that not only does it help boost positivity in the world, but it also helps boost the positivity within the person who's donating. So some of the health benefits of donating to charity is that it's a stress reducer. It activates the reward center of the brain. And I just want to mention that center is activated and it releases chemicals like dopamine. These are neurotransmitters that help boost a feeling of well-being, right? It also improves self-esteem, it brings about a positive mood, and of course, it improves the community. So there's a lot of different handmade items you can donate to charity. For example, hats, scarves, shawls, sweaters, gloves, any kind of wearable is a common thing to donate. Blankets, of course, as well. Some places will take squares and they'll make blankets out of them. You can also donate handmade cards and other creative items. So what I'm going over right now are just some that I've seen as I've looked for crochet or knit specific donations. Okay, I'm sure there's many others. In addition to handmade items, another thing that is needed in some areas are craft items themselves, like art supplies, fabric, yarn, beads, or craft kits, and other creative items like that. For example, certain schools might need it for their art department and that kind of thing. So I wanted to just kind of go over some of the more obvious things that you can donate. So there are a few things that I'd really like for you guys to keep in mind when you're thinking about donating to charity. And so these are the things that I want you to keep in mind. Remember that many people do have allergies, okay? Also, it's typically better to donate locally because you are actually donating within your own community, and that helps build connection with people who are close to you, okay? I also want you to keep in mind the idea of calling the donation center first before you craft. It's also helpful to find a cause that's close to your heart. And if you cannot find one, you could even create your own foundation. So I'm going to kind of go over each one of these a little bit more detail, and then we'll move over to my table. All right. So with allergies, I just want to mention that a lot of people have allergies to wool. I don't know how prevalent that is in animals too, but I do know that wool allergies is, it's a thing. Okay. And so for alternatives to wool, when you're making something for charity, you might want to switch to cotton or acrylic. And there are ways of softening acrylic by using hypoallergenic detergent and fabric softener in the washer, so that you can soften it up and everything, okay? So I just wanted to mention that. So when I was talking about starting locally, I just wanted to mention that can help you feel closer to your immediate communities. For ideas, you can check out homeless shelters, foster care, public schools, pet shelters, nursing homes, and the Department of Human Services in your area, or the equivalent if you're in a different country from the United States. Now, the Department of Human Services is basically the place you go if you need to sign up for any kind of government help. And so that's why I mention it, because there is a lot of need there. Something that I left out is places of worship, if you are a part of a religious community, those are good places also to find that can help you organize how to donate things there too. Okay, so I do want to keep that that option out there too. I just forgot to put that on my slide. So so you found where you want to donate. Um, and so you want to start making something. But see, first you do need to call before you craft. Some foundations actually become overrun with donations, and then they end up sitting in a warehouse looking for home, and these can sit there for years. An example from recent history is when Hurricane Katrina happened. A lot of people started donating, and there were so many donations during the Hurricane Katrina that they weren't able to actually get them to people who had been affected by the hurricane quickly enough. And so a lot of really amazing donations were kind of sitting around, kind of waiting for another disaster to happen before they could be distributed. So that's why it's important to call your donation center to make sure there's still a need for your donations. And so I think this is a really important thing to kind of keep in mind. It also helps you feel better about what you're donating, because you can also, like, that it's actually going to somewhere, and it's not just kind of sitting around, right? And so I think that it's positive on both ends, right? Another thing to remember is to donate to a cause that's close to your heart. Obviously, the health benefits of donating increase when you're donating to a charity that's close to your heart. There's certain areas of need that might have touched your life in the past, and consider giving back to that specific community. I do know there have been times when I've been down and out and going through hard times when I received something more than what I expected. And I think back to those times, and I think about what a huge difference that made to me at that point in my life. One point, for example, because I want to just be more specific, is like right after my father died. I was young when my father died. I was in my early 30s. So it was a big blow to me. And some of the very small things that people did around me to help me out at that time they meant so much to me then, and I still remember them now. So if you've ever been through some really hard times, kind of think about that when you're keeping in mind the idea of what kind of community you want to donate to. All right, let's kind of keep that in mind. And then, of course, as I was saying before, if you're feeling particularly ambitious, you can always create and organize your own charity. You can tell others about your mission and what you'd like to be donated. You can talk about it on social media and reach out to people with large followings to tell them about your charity, to kind of get the word out. So another thing is that, some people might be watching this that aren't actually able to make crafts for whatever reason. And I just want to mention, you can also donate your time. You can donate the items in your home you no longer use, or your money to charity of your choice. So the health benefits are just as high, and there will always be a need, no matter what. So as you're doing your spring cleaning, like I know I have my spring cleaning itch going on right now, set aside some things to donate so that you can, help pass that along. All right, guys? So I'm going to meet you now over at my table and talk a little bit more about charities, and I'm looking forward to talking to you. See you there. All right, welcome back. Hopefully that wasn't too hard on you guys. I know it was kind of hard on me because it really doesn't feel natural. But anyway, I did want to make sure that I put some things up there like that. So I want to highlight a really great club if you don't know where to begin with donating, okay? The club is called Annie's Caring Crochet Kit Club, all right? And at the point in which I joined this club, the first shipment of my item was free. All I had to do was pay for shipping and handling. And so I ended up signing up for the Caring Crochet Kit Club, and I want to talk about it, okay? It's a really great idea if you want to donate, but you don't know where to donate. So I received this in the mail a while ago, and I was waiting to open it until now. So what you get in your kit is you get a project, and in this one is a fashion camo cap. It's very beautiful. It's this beautiful cap here, and then you can add this scarf here that comes with it. I don't want to bother you guys with that noise, so I'll kind of cut this out. Oh, and it's so soft too. It's a really nice quality one. So you get this beautiful scarf here. Oh, that's so pretty. And you can make this hat. All right, sorry for having to go off camera. My son was playing, and he was distracting me a little bit too much. He's still playing. He's just playing in a way that's not as distracting. So anyway, I was talking about Annie's Caring Crochet Kit Club, and basically what they do is they send you a kit, and they give you something you can make and donate, right? But they don't just send you that. They also tell you where to donate to. So in this little pattern that they sent me, they their organization that they're sponsoring this month is Knots of Love, okay? And it gives you the website, which is knotsoflove.org. It tells you a little bit about it, and it gives you a place to donate your finished object with. So this is Knots of Love in California, okay? It also gives you this little card that you can fill out too, which you can send to them, and you can tell them that you'd like to find out more about this particular charity. Okay, so we get this beautiful yarn. So it's not just for one hat. You can make two out of these, or you can change it up if you want. And this beautiful scarf that goes with both colors. I just think that this is such a great deal. And what you can make is either this hat right here. Sorry, I forget that the orientation is the same as me. So you can either make this hat here, or there's another hat. I'm gonna hide this, that you can make that's got this little twist in the middle here that they also include. And it's an easy skill level. And of course, you don't have to donate, okay? You don't have to donate your item there, but it just gives you an idea of where you could donate your item. And I just think this is a really great club, because if you can't figure out which place to donate your items to, Annie's will figure that out for you. They'll already do all of the things that I talked about before. They'll make sure that there isn't anything in the yarn or fabric that's might cause allergies. They make sure that there is a need for whatever organization they're featuring, and they give you enough yarn to make whatever the project is. And it also helps you just get to play around with different patterns and that kind of stuff. And of course, if you don't read patterns, and if you're like me and you kind of go more intuitively, you can always do something like that too and still donate it. But I just think that it's such a great kit club, and I just wanted to mention it in this video because I just think that this is something that is just really beneficial for everybody involved. So that said, I hope that you enjoyed my Wellness Wednesday presentation, and I hope that it got you thinking about different ways that you can give back to your community. I do know that one thing that I love to do with my scrap yarn is to make blankets for pets and animal shelters and that kind of stuff. I also donate old blankets and even towels to animal shelters because that's something that's kind of close to my heart with having so many animals in my house. I know I talk about my cat a lot, but we actually have other cats, and we also have a dog. So anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. Remember, I do have a giveaway going away, so you might want to find that and enter to win. And I will see you soon with another video. Bye.